Hey everybody, Nick Espinoza, your Chief Security Fanatic here, and today we're actually talking about the next evolution of ransomware, and that is extortionware. Now here's what's going on. This is coming from the BBC, who I think had a really interesting article on this. And while this has actually been around for a while now, it's starting to explode onto the scene according to multiple researchers. Now, this trend basically towards ransoming sensitive private information could affect companies not just operationally, but also through reputation damage. This is actually one of the things I talk about when I'm talking with a client regarding a ransomware event. Obviously, it affects your reputation with your clients, the public, whoever that is. It basically needs a calculation on how many dollars, hard and soft, this is affecting your business on. But for example, when we're talking about extortionware, attackers bragged recently after discovering an IT director's secret adult movie collection. Let's put it that way. Now, this was a United States company, and they were targeted, and they have not publicly acknowledged that they were actually attacked. But in their basically the dark web blog post about this last month, the cyber criminal gang named this IT director whose work basically contained these files. They also posted screen grabs of a computer file library, which included more than a dozen folders of various adult star names, adult websites, all this kind of stuff. And essentially, they wrote, "Thank God for this, IT director, while he was enjoying various activities, we downloaded several hundred gigabytes of private information about his company's customers," and on and on and on. And so essentially they are outing this person or shaming this person or whatever in an attempt to keep this quiet, because obviously they don't want this to get around to the customers. And now that they have this customer's information, there's no reason why they couldn't be sharing this information out there. But this blog post was actually deleted in the last couple of weeks, which indicates that the extortion attempt worked and that the attackers were paid to restore the data and not publish more details. The company in question did not respond to the BBC when they requested a comment. Now, this same group was also currently trying to pressure another U.S. utility company into paying a ransom by posting an employee's username and password to a members-only adult site. Another ransomware group also has a dark website that shows the use of similar tactics, and this relatively new gang published private emails and pictures and is directly calling for the mayor of a hacked municipality in the United States to negotiate a ransom. So in other words, we now have a local politician of a municipality that might be under fire for what is being released in the dark web. In another case, attackers claim to have found an email trail showing evidence of insurance fraud at a Canadian agricultural company. And so here we are. It's not just adult themed. It's anything that could potentially get this company into trouble. Now, basically, a threat analyst from Emisys said that this trend posed to an evolution in ransomware hacking, and to quote, "This is the new norm. Hackers are now actually searching the data for information that can be weaponized. If they find anything that is incriminating or embarrassing, they'll use it to leverage a larger payout. These incidents are no longer simply cyber attacks about data, they are full-out extortion attempts." So in other words, they're not just locking your data saying we're going to dump it if you don't pay us. They are looking for that damaging evidence and basically relaying to you and saying, "Hey, we know you're committing fraud. We know you're going to adult websites on the company's dime. You better pay us or this is going public." Now, another example of this was actually seen in December of last year when a cosmetic surgery chain known as the Hospital Group, and I remember reporting that on that in my Breaches of the Week video on that Sunday, was held ransom with the threat of publication of before and after images of patients, meaning the reputation damage of that would be absolutely extraordinary if somebody was going in for some kind of cosmetic surgery and basically somebody was posting the before and after pictures publicly. That would be obviously a huge concern and a massive violation of private health information. This latest trend basically of threatening to publicly damage an organization or individual is basically concerning because it's hard to defend against. Obviously, you can keep good backups that would help businesses recover from ransomware attacks and all of that, but it's not enough when basically they've ransomed you out and you're saying, "I'm not going to pay the ransom, I can just restore from backup." And they're saying, wait a second, we have damaging information on you or your employees or your clients or your emails or criminal activities such as fraud. This is what we're talking about. That's a huge, huge problem with this. And I think part of this comes down to at least in one aspect, good cyber hygiene for an organization, which basically should dictate that your IT director should know better, not to mention every employee in the company, not to do personal things on company property or company infrastructure. So you should not be going to websites that you shouldn't be going to. And if you're thinking, well, we've got URL blocks and none of our users can get to the website, do you think that's really going to stop the IT director that actually creates and monitors the URL web blocking? So here we are. I think this is a huge problem that we're going to continue to see. But as companies adopt really good backup practices, like moving backups encrypted into the cloud that can't be touched or really accessed by ransomware attackers, so they can simply restore and they don't care about the extortion. Now they're sifting through the data, and if you think they're going through that line by line, it's very easy to index and keyword search and look for very specific things. And so here we are. So I think this is going to be a huge problem going forward. This is continuing to evolve, but this is the next evolution of ransomware that we need to be talking about. It's not just locking your files out anymore. It's extorting you when they have your files. So even if you're like, yeah, I'm not going to pay the ransom, I've got a good backup, you don't want that damaging information getting out to the public or to, God forbid, a girlfriend or boyfriend or spouse or boss or whoever that is. This is a huge problem. And so that is your news of the day. Stay vigilant, maintain good cyber hygiene, and please make sure that company work stays to company work. And please don't commit fraud as well, because these guys might find you and expose you. And please like, share, follow me here on Facebook and Twitter at NickAESP. And please feel free to subscribe to me at YouTube as well. And as always, stay safe and stay online. Thanks, everyone.